making policy in an emotional environment is quite different than doing it as a theoretical exercise in a classroom. So I knew that from personal experience, games, whether they're video games or board games, elicit just that kind of emotional response from the people who are playing. So even if it's just a friendly board game, you'll often have these heated encounters, and that is, I think, very much like the real world policymaking. So anybody could do it, really. It doesn't require any kind of specialized knowledge at all. I did mine in Microsoft Excel because it's the only thing that I really knew how to use. All I had to do was email, or actually post on Canvas, the Excel file, the spreadsheet, and the students were able to access it readily, either through their Microsoft Online accounts, which they all have. The students have this fictional health system called the Corvid Clinic, and they're imagining that they're part of the health management team, and they're asked to keep 4 different quality measures high. It's what the CEO wants, which on the spreadsheet are indicated by these needle gauges. At the same time, however, they have to slash the budget, and so the choices that they make and how they slash the budget will affect, sometimes positively and sometimes negatively, each of those 4 quality indicators. The group that whose allocation strategies weathered the most crises then wins the game, and usually is rewarded by having some extra credit on the final exam, for example, after having done this kind of game versus regular didactic methods. What the students that do the game possess is a more realistic understanding of the complexity of health policymaking in the real world. All of the different vagaries of politics and economic influences from different actors and different stakeholders with competing interests is something that intellectually a student could maybe understand and do well regurgitating on an exam, but it's only the students who have lived through this sort of emotional exercise that truly understand how complex it is and the stakes involved. I was hoping that it would give them a more realistic understanding of the complexity of health policy making in the real world. I'm not a programmer, I'm not a game programmer, so I've used the tools at my disposal, which in this case is Microsoft Excel. What I often do is I have pre and post tests. I do that for both sets of students, those that do just regular didactic instruction and those that do the games. What I have noticed is that in the post tests done, the students that have actually undergone the games and the simulations have a much greater, more expansive understanding of the real complexities that are hard to gauge otherwise and hard to teach otherwise of health policymaking in the real world.